books. There's a guy alone in there looking at the shelves. Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am doing a reading vlog. I'm first gonna start off with what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I'm only 100 pages in and I'm really enjoying it so far. Writers and Lovers is a literary fiction and that's kind of my goal. Any classics, any literary fiction. Loving this so far. Cassie, which I don't really know if that's how you say her name, but I believe she kind of is going through like a dark time in her life at the moment, at least from the 100 pages in that I'm in. She's a writer. Her mother just passed away. She moved back to her hometown, which is in Cambridge, Massachusetts. She's kind of going through a lot of emotions at the moment because of her mom passing away. Kind of everything that she goes through is kind of heightened by that. She's such in a dark place and it's like almost beautiful to read about, which kind of sucks to say, but it is. And I feel so connected to her and I almost feel like I can feel her. And I've never read from Lily King and she seems very interesting and I would like to read other works that she has because I'm kind of loving her writing right now. At first, her writing is very difficult. Not difficult, it's just very complex and I feel like you really have to pay attention. Not in a way where it's hard, but like more in like, you know, if you're in a reading slump, this wouldn't be the book that you would pick up. Well, I'll see you guys soon probably when I have something to say about the book.
Blueberry cinnamon roll.
Blueberry cinnamon roll. I'm on page 230, which means I have somewhat of less than 100 pages left. The first 100 pages at least were interesting. Like slowly when we got into the 200, everything was just like being utterly repeated all the time. I was not having fun and then I just like took a break from it because I genuinely could not keep reading. Like it was boring. I went to this cafe and I actually started The Answer Is No by Frederick Backman and I started it on my Kindle, so I'm currently reading it on my Kindle. So far liking it. It's like a short story. I'm 81%. It's like 67 or 63 pages. We'll talk about it more when I actually finish it. I'm gonna go to my reading nook to figure out what I want to read after I finish this book. Of course, still want to focus on classics, memoirs. These are classic. They're both classics. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Yes, I'm still pretty much participating in my goals. I'm in a very emotional state. I just finished Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I usually try not to do this. I try to think about the book before I say my opinions, but sincerely, I don't think they'll change because I actually can't describe the way I feel about the book because I dislike it in many ways and then I love it in others. Do I have a lacy eye?
Yes. Very slight though.
That's a messed up. Her relationship are so half-assed. I wrote this twice, so every time I felt like I needed to put something down, which it sucks that I didn't do this in the beginning. Her relationships are just not through, if that makes sense. Like they're just not described the way I wish they were described. I don't know what that says about the author or the character. It just feels like I don't know enough about these humans and that she builds or tries to build a relationship with. There is Luke, Silas, and Oliver. I don't think that's his name. Oscar? I believe. Literally a book about writers and lovers. Despite the fact that you can't believe it, it is. But these lovers that she's feeling every single time with, it's like I could see it from a mile away on why it wouldn't work, but then at the same time, it's just not in depth. Nobody is in depth. You don't know anything about anybody. Another one. So much repetition, too little info. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. A big 100 pages of this book are constantly the same thing and I'm getting so bored out of my mind, I almost feel like I want to DNF it, which is not something that I should feel in a book. Which, yes, sometimes a good book has a big chunk of boringness because an author cannot be exciting every page, but goddamn, I don't like that. Which, yes, a bunch of books do not have that and a bunch of books are in fact amazing every single page. Surely this one wasn't. Another thing is, I love what is said, and this will bring me into a few quotes that I want to put in. First, I think I will put a picture just in case you are Italian and you know this so you can have the full effect. Sadly, I have the translation because I do not speak Italian. So I had to translate this to know what is in the pages. Silas, I believe that's his name, says to this, and it's horrible that we get to know absolutely nothing of him. Midway on the road of our life, I found myself in a dark forest where the straight path was lost. I just loved that he said that. I love when books talk about chess. Okay, I don't know, I love chess. Am I good at it? Absolutely not. So every time a book references chess or talks about chess in a beautiful way, I just can't breathe. Checkmate, I yell at him. Checkmate. Silas whoops and raises both hands for me to slap. How did that happen? I look at all the pieces I lost at the side of the table. 2 pawns, 2 rooks, a bishop, and a queen. How did he do that? He didn't need them. He just had the guts to keep fighting. I do feel kind of immortal now. He laughs. He looks happy and doesn't try to hide it. Yes, I know, it's stupid, but I'm a chess human, so I liked it. I'm giving this book a 4-star. Ironic, isn't it? Because I was talking so badly about it. I think that it shaped me into a different human. Hello everybody. I'm currently on 100 pages of Frankenstein. It's not hard to understand, like, at all. It's just something that, like, you have to, like, put your full on attention to. And sometimes I'm reading and I'm just not there. And I did in fact finish The Answer Is No by Frederick Beckman, honestly a long time ago, but I forgot to tell you guys. I gave this a 3 stars. It was a great quote in the beginning. I could really relate to the character, and then the story is based on this guy, I forgot his name. He basically is like a loner, and he's like happy to be a loner. Like, the only reason why he's happy is because he doesn't have a relationship or he doesn't have anybody to bother. And then, like, stuff in his apartment start happening and people start knocking on his door and being annoying to him. He works online, so after he works, starts gaming and like eating Thai food, and that's pretty much his routine. And then people start knocking on his door and like ruining his routine and blah blah blah. I think there's like more to it, the purpose of like what happens in the ending. It's a good story. I haven't really read Batman before, so I'm not like really sure if his writing is like better, because I didn't really like it so much. I don't have much to say about it. I just think that you should read it and see if you like it yourself. I didn't love it, but I almost did, and then I didn't. My camera's flashing because I was filming all day for TikTok on it, so go follow me on TikTok. I'm gonna keep reading this amazing artwork. My hair looks disgusting. Hi everyone, I'm wearing like full-on snow gear. I just finished Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and I wanted to pretty much speak my opinions on it before we move on to the next book. Also, I did start a new book. I will not lie, I think that I will be ending the vlog here because I'm getting really annoyed with like the whole editing process. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's because the footage is like long, but my editing software is just not being nice to me. And it keeps playing with me and saying that it's all been deleted even though it hasn't. And it's really scaring me. But anyway, I have a few notes for Frankenstein as I did for Writers and Lovers. I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving, actually, I shall tell you in the end. First, these are my personal opinions, okay? If you do not agree with me, that is completely okay. First of all, I didn't like Victor. I never really heard anybody talk about Frankenstein, so I don't know if these things are like unpopular or not. Let me explain it carefully and right. Victor Frankenstein devoted almost his entire life, a big chunk of his life, to study all this geometry and mathematical and, you know, all this stuff to make a creature. Made a creature, and the second that the creature moved his fingers and it was somewhat alive, proceeded to hate him with all of his gut. I actually kind of enjoy the creature more than I enjoy Victor. I would not change anything about this book, but this is just a funny little thing that I'm sure we all know. This could all have been avoided if Victor would have taught him how to be human and love and feel properly, plus be his friend. If Victor would have just been a friend to Frankenstein, all the things that I won't spoil for you that Frankenstein proceeded to do would all be avoided. As you read the book, you like notice. He had a soul, he had a heart, he felt things. He was actually a pretty good, great soul when he became alive, and he slowly became an evil creature because he didn't have anyone. He was all alone. Nobody taught him how to be a good person, okay? Everything he learned was taught by him. I ended up giving Frankenstein a 4-star because I really, really liked it. It's a very important classic, and I can totally see why everybody loves it. I am excited to watch the films. I've never watched any film of Frankenstein, and I just wanted to put in here what I'm currently reading, a book on my Kindle, but I am listening. I did start an audiobook. I'm excited about starting audiobooks, but I think I might finish this on my Kindle. It's called Grave Talk by Nick Spalding. All I know, it's of two characters, a man and a woman, who have lost someone in their life. And they both met in a graveyard. So I'm not really sure what it comes to be. That's pretty much all I know. I honestly forgot their names, but if you go watch my podcast, I do in fact always talk about the books that I'm currently reading, and I did get into a little bit of Frankenstein in the Graveyard on that last episode that I did this week, which was 4. I am gonna go pick up a physical book, but to be honest, I think that I will be sticking to that book on my Kindle. I might start reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I do want to get more books in February, so I think that I might actually pick up this one. It's very small.